Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
Thanks for tuning in again to the Makiri YouTube channel. This time, I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of high contention still. Super Street Fighter 2X, Super Turbo tier lists get talked about and redone like daily. So it's nothing new, but the game is like 30 years old, so it's kind of amazing that there's still arguments about the tier list daily with a game this old. But you know, it's a good thing. It means that people still care. There's new stuff being found out that keeps kind of like, you know, inching certain characters either lower or higher, except for Balrog Claw, who's soundly at the top. But other than that, you know, there's things that change and characters that win more tournaments and have been winning more, and you know, that kind of plays an effect. But I figure I'm gonna do my own. Everybody has one, just like other things. So this one is mine, and hate it or love it. I don't feel like there's anything that's, you know, too crazy or out of place as far as I know, but who knows? Everybody has their own opinion, like I said. So this is it. Here I'm going to explain my reasoning, and feel free to leave a comment if you think that I'm or you think that I'm a genius. Either way. But starting out, S-Class, obviously, Claw, Balrog, Vega, whatever you want to call him. The guy with the claw and the mask is top tier, the top tier. In a league of his own, he's been a tournament winner forever. Not to be too cynical, but you could pretty much do the bare minimum and win a US tournament with this character. So he, you know, he doesn't have very many bad matchups. Doesn't have any bad matchups. So obviously S tier for Claw. Going down one, Chun-Li. Top three, you know, or the top four, and then the bottom three. I think a lot of people switch them back and forth, but Dhalsim, you know, could be ahead of Chun-Li, but I don't think so. Not with the way that Chun-Li's been winning tournaments in Japan, and the amount of broken things that she has. You know, like Dhalsim has brainless stuff. Once you learn all of his anti-airs and everything like that, definitely 2 or 3 for sure. But I put him at 3, Chun-Li at 2. Boxer Bison is a solid 4 in my opinion. Very easy to play, but you know, loses to Chun-Li pretty simple. So I don't think there's much contention when it comes to A tier. I didn't put the S characters in because they're unbalanced characters that aren't even supposed to be in the game that you need a code to access. And I think that I'm kind of, everybody knows where I stand on this. But I'll probably maybe I'll put like a little thing after this with the S characters or old characters. There's definitely, you know, there's a couple of S characters that would be in the A tier. S as in super characters, old characters. Chun, Dhalsim, Boxer. Chun-Li has too many good moves. Just, I mean, you cannot punish her crouch medium kick on reaction. She's got super quick projectiles, every anti-air, close proximity, normals. Up kicks, hit on the first frame, can't be safe jumped. A lot of stuff that's pretty broken. Dhalsim's just super strong, has an answer, a normal for everything. Super is fully invincible, limbs reach the whole screen. I mean, I don't know if I need to go on, I think kind of get the picture. Super quick projectiles. Bison, Boxer, one of the best supers in the game. Safe on block. Can do like 6-7 turns in a row. It's like putting down a draw 4 card in Uno. Just keep reverse into yourself and then draw cards and reverse and reverse. Yeah, pretty brain dead character. Very strong. Good to have on your team if you got like a team of 5 or like a team of 3. Always good to have one of the top tiers. S or A are kind of a necessity to win because everybody else is going to play those tiers. So yeah, moving down to B tier. DJ is kind of like in between. I feel like he could be A-, B+. Touch of Death, super ambiguous cross up, a normal for everything. One button, soft knockdown with a crouch medium kick. Slides, super fast projectiles, even though he's a charge character. Good anti-airs, good mix-ups. Yeah, pretty much everything you could want. Which makes me, I feel like he's probably A tier, but the fact that there has to be like a differentiation between Boxer and then DJ tier. So I think he's good at like B+, A-, but for the sake of this, B. And then Ryu, obviously probably the most balanced character in the game. Super strong, underrated for a long time, I feel like. Could easily be A tier as well. I feel like you could have done like A tier with like Chun, Dhalsim, Boxer, DJ, Ryu, and then go below. But for the sake of keeping everything kind of organized, yeah, one of the, I'd say top 3, yeah, supers in the game. Just ridiculous. You can throw it anytime you want. Pretty easy to charge it back up with Tatsu and neutral, jump over fireballs and land with Tatsu to fill the gauge. Just watch Fudichan or somebody like that. Super kind of chargy Ryu player. Gets at least like 2 Shinkus per round. Yeah, super strong in all ways, pretty balanced. And then Guile next, which is why Guile and Ryu is always a good matchup. Guile has good projectiles, can walk behind them, anti-air normals for almost everything. Super's not great, but you can, use it for combos, cancel into it, Renda. Flash kick, good. Crouch medium kick is abusive. On certain characters, very abusive. If you're trying to walk up and Guile is crouching, if you don't know the spacing, perfect. You can get hit by a crouch medium kick, or if you jump, he's got flash kick charged anyway. So you can just turtle. It's pretty easy in certain matchups. And if you're not playing against somebody who knows how to deal with it, you can pretty much just block them out, and that could be the game. So good bottom of B tier in my opinion. C tier, Honda, Fei Long. Honda beats pretty much everybody who doesn't have a fireball, except maybe Claw. I think, as far as the characters that are in A and B, they all have a fireball, except for Boxer. So, obviously, Honda's going to have trouble. Big fat character. Sorry, not fat. He's got muscle under all that. He's a sumo wrestler, so, pretty average match. Honda wants to jump over projectiles, get in close, because once he's in close, you're kind of screwed. Even if you're like, Ryu or somebody, if he gets Ryu can be safe jumped. So even though Ryu has projectiles, and same with Dhalsim, kind of a good matchup. Not a bad matchup for Honda. Once you get in, it could be over in, one mix-up. Oicho, really strong. You can cover a lot of ground with the Hyakuretsu, the 100-hand slap. Yeah, pretty good character, except for when you got a fireball. Next, Fei Long. Fei Long's been moving up. I think, I don't know. Honda could be like B-. Fei could be C+ if we were doing that, but we're not. So, Fei Long has a lot of he's like mini Boxer with Rekkas and then Rekkyaku, which is chicken wing in the US. Cover a lot of ground and just take like a ton of turns, and gets kind of stupid sometimes. You know, like a lot of people in Japan are starting to call him like Kusokera, which is like dumb character. You know, like I'm not saying it doesn't take, you know, certain skill to play, but like there's some pretty stupid stuff with Fei Long where all you got to do is, you know, you take a lot of turns. Bison gets a lot of turns. Boxer gets a lot of turns. Bison/Boxer. I'm gonna keep calling him Bison because that's a Japanese name. Bison gets a lot of turns, and I'd say that Fei Long is next in the line of who gets a number of like, just get to go again. I get to go again. I get to go again. There's super plus on block even. Chicken wings difficult to deal with, which can be comboed into like a 7-hit combo, which is crazy. Standing fierce into 3-piece Rekka. He has a jump in TOD, so even with characters with fireballs, if Fei Long gets the one jump, could be lights out. So I think he's underrated. I think he's he's a soul character. Like it's very you can kind of just YOLO. So yeah, Fei Long, and then going down to D, Bibson, as Riz would say. Vega, good character. Struggles with some matchups, but never count him out. If you've ever seen a match with Yu Vega, or Murasaki, then I would say that you know that he's still dangerous even with 0 dot. Yu Vega is the scariest person in the entire history of the game with no life left. You know, he'll get a jump in or he'll get something that mixes you up and he'll dizzy you and finish you off. Never drops a combo. So definitely a lot of comeback potential. You're never safe. Not a bad character. Pretty honest, you know. Has some shenanigans, but for the most part, yeah. Super, not great. But it stops people from throwing fireballs sometimes. Can chip out. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Moving on, X Sagat, his S counterpart, obviously up in that A tier, unanimously. But his X counterpart, not so good. Slow fireballs, limbs are pretty punishable. Fireball's pretty punishable. Recovery's bad. Super's not good. DP's, you know, good, but sometimes not because it can get sweeped, which is kind of crazy. On certain frame, you can sweep Sagat's DP. Sagat really doesn't have, like, you know, a lot of strength, but when you watch somebody like Yaya play, or, you know, even Ultra Combo, they do a lot of crazy stuff with Sagat that makes him look like he's a playable character. But I'd say not really, you know, not a very viable character. You see Yaya play Guile a lot for a reason in tournaments. But yeah, you know, struggle character for sure. So moving on to Ken. X-Ken, yeah, I mean, I know X-Ken like the back of my hand, but I thought it was going to be easier, you know? When I first started playing, I started by watching Mattsun, and he always tells us to everybody that he tricked me into playing Ken. He makes him look strong, you know? Like, it's people that make Ken look really, really strong, with the mix-ups and the knee bash and the, you know, repa, short repa. And, you know, he's just not strong. He struggles in every single match except Honda. He doesn't have any clear advantage matchups except Honda. I mean, everything that is not a losing matchup, it's like even or pretty much losing. Like Cammy and Blanca and Hawk. 5-5, but kind of like 4-5, 4.5. I think Blanca's like a full on 5-5. Like it's a even matchup. But other than that, you know, pretty sparse for good matchups for Ken. You gotta have things on point. Like even his sweep, walking up and sweeping can be difficult because you get the command kicks, which one of them is pretty much pointless. The one that goes straight up like that has really no use. Mattsun's done some like combo videos where he makes it useful, but it's not viable in a match, really. Yeah, you know, you walk up and you get if your inputs aren't perfectly clean, you get one of the command kicks, and all of a sudden you're on the ground and in a TOD combo against DJ, or your whole plan of attack is basically ruined. So yeah, not a strong character. Fun to play, but not a strong character. Don't see any tournaments really won with Ken except for Mattsun and Ken when he was doing tournaments. And yeah, I definitely recommend playing Ken. Best character in the game. So Zangief struggles a lot. The whiff animation on SPD is brutal to give to him. Not even Hawk has that. I think that, you know, he struggles a lot with not really with like fireball characters, I'd say, except for like Chun and Dalsim, maybe a little bit Sagat, and Guile. Yeah, nah. I guess the only one he doesn't really struggle with is Ryu and Ken, and DJ. Other than that, you know, Honda bodies him. Blanca has a pretty easy time. Cammy and Fei Long mess him up. I mean, he can beat Boxer, so that's, you know, that's saying something. That's why he's not E tier, in my opinion. He does have his matchups, you know. So arguably could be higher than Ken, you know, because Ken doesn't have any winning matchups except Honda. But yes, rough stuff for Zangief. Blanca, also, you know, we're getting down into the bottom tier. So yeah, Blanca's difficult. Got a lot of bad matchups. His super is probably the worst in the game. It can be thrown, it can be DP'd, or you can just sit and wait, you know, and then punish it. Ken can knee bash it, like as it's rolling towards you. It has basically no invincibility. He's got a good jump in TOD combo. The hops are okay to build meter, but when you have a super like that, that's I don't know how much you really need meter. Mix-ups and shenanigans are good. Just watch Komoda, watch AFO, watch Nakamu. Those guys make Blanca look like he's C or B tier. I mean, even, you know, the Chun-Li matchup, you watch Nakamu play against Chun-Li players, and it doesn't look like a good matchup for Chun-Li, which is crazy. So yeah, Blanca, difficult path to play, be a Blanca player, but I think that there's some merit in it for sure. And then I have Cammy and Hawk at E. I think that Cammy just is not really a viable character. A lot of bad matchups. She kind of messes up Ken, like, you know, relating it to my experiences. Cammy can be difficult to deal with. If you watch Nakamura or Tasaka, kind of hard to deal with. The crouching medium kick, you can just walk forward. Like when I play Cammy against Ken players, I usually bust them up. You just walk forward and push crouch medium kick. Wait for him to finally throw a Hadouken and jump in. But other than that, you know, like Honda, bad matchup. Ryu, DJ, Guile, Chun-Li kinda can, you know, it's not bad, not terrible, as some are. Boxer, Claw, everybody, you know, everybody kind of has a leg up on Cammy. So yeah, she's an E. Her super's okay. You can go through fireballs with it, but I don't know, not that great. So last on the list is X-Hawk. Like I said, I don't know much about grapplers, but I do know enough to know that Hawk is the worst in the game. So, you know, just his S counterpart, obviously not as bad. I would say probably B plus A tier. But his normals are better as S, Hawk. And the ticks, you know, it's one touch, you know, basically for some characters, and game over. You watch Yakitori play him. and you'll see that once he gets a knockdown, it's kind of game over, because you can OS into a lot of stuff, and then once you get knocked down, like I said, once you get touched, game over. Even with Ken, like I'm obviously a Ken player, so I'm relating everything back to what I know with Ken, but I'm talking about his S-Hawk, because he has everything that X-Hawk doesn't have to make him viable, which is, there's like, obviously I'm kind of getting into the S character tiers right now, but like the big gap between X and then S-Hawk from E to like B or A, just shows kind of how different, those characters were made to be, and they weren't really made for this game, and not made to interact with X characters. Just like Ken, Ken is D, solid D, and then S Ken is like top tier, like A tier, bottom of A tier. So yeah, there's a reason why it takes a code to unlock those characters. Yeah, I think X-Hawk just doesn't have much to deal with anything. Difficult character to play. I think that there's people who obviously have fun playing him, and that's really all that matters in this game, because it is an old game, and I know people want to win and bring glory to their character, but I think that at this point it's 30 years old, and if you're not having fun playing this game, then I don't really know why you're playing it, because at the end of the day there's not money to be made from it. There's only honor and fun. If you're not having either of those, then I'd say either switch a character or switch to a different game. But there's people like Viper and Yakitori who play Hawk, and Mayakon who play Hawk, and they do cool shit, like Viper does 720s, and I've seen him do like in a tournament in succession, he did light, medium, and then fierce Typhoon, all in order. So like stair steps of Typhoons. So everybody has their own style, and I think that's what's so cool about this game still, and why tier lists get talked about all the time still, daily, in a game that's this old, is because people are still interested in it and have fun, and end of the day, that's what matters. So yeah, that's my tier list. I think, yeah, I'd say D tier can kind of meld into each other, but other than that, I'm firm on everything. So if you got any problems, I don't really care, but feel free to leave them in the comments, because I always entertain an argument, and obviously it's just my opinion. So I'm gonna go into, I'll just do that. I'm gonna add the S characters into this equation, only the viable ones. Like, I'm not doing fucking S Dalsim and S DJ and shit. So obviously you gotta have S Sagat. I'd say S Sagat goes right here. Yeah, kind of a toss up, but yeah, I'd say S Sagat goes right after Dalsim, maybe after Boxer, because of Boxer's super, but I don't know. I think S Sagat's way too broken. S Ken gotta go right there. Yeah, definitely bottom of A tier. Goki Light, fully invincible DP all the way up. One of the fastest recovery fireball in the game. Him and S Ryu. Maybe Dawson, I don't know. But anybody jumps against you, just throw out Fierce DP. There's no way that you're not going to touch them. And nothing is going to beat you in the air, because you're fully invincible all the way up until the very top, and you come down. So when in doubt, throw out Fierce DP. throw a bunch of Hadokens. You can watch the Mattsun versus Damdai Garage tournament and Atari's Garage at Canada Cup, TOL3. A lot of people have been bringing that up lately because Mattsun basically shows why S-Ken's so stupid and why S characters are pretty much just cheap, unbalanced trash code that shouldn't be in the game. And then, yeah, I'd say S Ryu after him. Still A tier. Nah. I'll probably... I'm thinking after DJ. Nah, because he got the 50-50 unblockable, so... That's completely broken. So, yeah, gotta be bottom at A. Yeah, I don't know, but then you got... Alright, yeah, we'll go with... I'll go with... Come on now. Go with S-Hawk at top of B. Not even DJ has a one-touch... like, game over thing except for his cross-up, so... I don't know. You could argue. But... yeah, S-Hawk is like Ebola. You get touched and you're done. So anybody else, not really viable. S Honda, nah. Shogatsu obviously, but I wouldn't place him on the tier anywhere. Yeah, let's say that's good. S-Ken and S-Ryu are just kind of, dumbly broken. Same with S-Hawk, so. Yeah, I gotta go A. Let's do that. Yep. Because then you go back to the X, and, like at least with DJ, like he's got some weaknesses that you can kind of pinpoint. I know Hawk does too, but once you get in that vortex, it's over. At least I can, even as X-Ken, I can DP out of DJ's stuff as long as it's not a super ambiguous cross-up. Because even then, like, if your DP comes out, cross-up will eat the startup of it, and he can combo into TOD, machine gun upper. So, yep, that looks good to me. That's my S characters included tier list. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I guess I'm going to leave it at that. Don't have too much else to say, but still working on more first to fives. Got like a little queue growing that I got to commentate. I'm going to have Riz on some of them. So thanks everybody for being patient with those. And guess I should probably make a video talking about Evo maybe. My experience with that. Yeah, next time.